Hi everyone, Sneemaster here. I've already reviewed the Crusader Spirit A1, but there is also a cargo-focused variant called the C1. The C1 has just released Flyable. The C1 has the same dimensions as the A1 at 46.5 meters long, 43.5 meters wide, and 10 meters high. That's larger than a Freelancer and smaller than a Corsair, about the size of a Zeus CL. It has a crew of 1 to 2, a pilot and co-pilot. The cockpit is in front of the ship with 2 seats, the pilot seat on the left and co-pilot seat on the right. The pilot has flight controls and weapon controls, while the co-pilot controls the tractor beam turret and engineering controls. Behind the cockpit you have the living quarters with 2 beds, one on each side of the cabin. The beds also function as escape pods. Above each bed are small bins for individual external crew stowage of 200k micro-SCU, and then there's a ship inventory of 8000k micro-SCU in the rest of the ship. There is a mini kitchen on one side with various kitchen devices that don't function at the moment. On the same side there is a bathroom with a sink, toilet, and shower. On the other side is a set of suit lockers and a gun rack that open up when you click buttons. Behind this section is the component access room. Here you can open panels to access various components in the ship. It doesn't really do much else. Further aft of this section is the cargo hold. The C1 can carry 64 SCU, about average for a mid-sized cargo ship. There are cargo gravity plates on the sides of the floor, each one long enough to hold a 32 SCU container each, or smaller multiple containers. Plus, there's a gap in the middle for players to walk through. There is a smaller section behind this with some more component access, as well as a tractor beam turret and the rear ramp. The ramp opens with warning lights to let players know where not to stand when the door opens. In the C1, you can easily carry 2 Tumbril Cyclones in the cargo bay, or some Greycat Rocks, STVs, Drake Mules, or any other hover vehicles. You can even fit a snub fighter in the cargo bay like the Fury, although it is a tight squeeze. Unfortunately, you cannot fit vehicles like the Ursa Rover or any larger vehicles like tanks. They're just a little too wide for the entrance, and I think CIG did that on purpose. The tractor beam turret allows you to load or unload cargo or vehicles fairly easily compared to other ships, even the 32 SCU containers. The tractor beam can also slide on rails from the back of the ship to the top of the ship, allowing the co-pilot to grab cargo from the front, sides, or rear of the ship. The tractor beam turret can be rotated as well. The co-pilot can use the beam to grab cargo or small ships, as well as move ground vehicles. The C1 has one size 2 shield, military class C. The ship has quite a bit of hull strength, about double a Cutlass Black, so it's pretty sturdy. There are 2 size 2 radars and a size 2 power plant. There is one size 1 hydrogen fuel tank with 687,000 liters of fuel, a size 1 quantum fuel tank with 3,750 liters of fuel, and a size 2 quantum drive. These are pretty long-range fuel tanks, and the quantum drive is pretty fast. The C1 has a combat speed of 154 meters a second, and a max speed of 1,120 meters a second. The combat speed is not as fast as combat ships, but about average for medium cargo ships, so it's not too bad. Maneuverability is also about average for a combat ship this size, and in comparison to other cargo ships in this range. The C1 has a nose turret with 2 size 3 laser cannons. The turret is pilot controlled. There are also 2 guns over the wings that pop out when active. These are fixed size 3 laser cannons and are also pilot controlled. The cannons don't fire quickly, but they do quite a bit of damage. You can install gimbals on the wing mounts if desired. Under the ship are 2 size 4 missile hardpoints. By default, they have dual size 3 missiles each. You can change the missile launchers to 8 size 1 missiles, 4 size 2 missiles, 2 size 3 missiles, or a single size 4 missile each. The size 4 missiles work great against medium ships or heavy fighters, while the size 1 missiles are great for swarming small fighters or ground targets. The C1 goes for $125 on the website at time-limited sales, or $110 war bond. That's about equal to a Cutlass Black or Freelancer, so it's not too expensive for a ship this size. You cannot buy the ship in-game yet, but expect to find it in the Crusader showroom once it does go on sale in-game. The C1 comes by default with a white and gray paint scheme with blue accents. You can apply any paint that fits on the other C1 variants, as well as a bunch of other paints. There is the white and gray Allegiant paint with red accents, the yellow Radiant paint, the dark gray and blue Resolute paint, the dark red and gray Ruby paint, the blue and gray Stalwart paint, and the dark gray and blue Valor paint. There are also some paints only available to Concierge during the initial concept sale, so they are no longer available to get. These are the red and gray Crimson paint, the military green Intrepid paint, and the dark gray and gold Olympia paint. As a medium cargo ship, the Spirit C1 does a better job than many similar sized cargo craft. It has plenty of space inside for cargo, and the cargo does not block walking or any component access. The C1 has the same cargo capacity as a Hull A, but the cargo is safer internally, plus it has a tractor beam. There is space enough inside to move the cargo with a tractor beam easily. The ship also has comfortable living quarters, nicer than a Cutlass at least, although there is no table to eat at or any chairs. The C1 is about average combat speed and tough enough for dangerous areas. The cockpit has decent visibility around you too. The large cargo bay is great for carrying ground vehicles, so the C1 could be used as a transport for ground exploration, ground mining, ground racing, or bounty hunting. The long-range fuel tanks and decent living quarters mean the ship can travel long distance to scan locations, so general exploration or surveying is feasible. Sadly, there are no chairs to carry troops, otherwise it'd be a great dropship too. Since there is no gun turret on the ship, a co-pilot is not required for this ship, although a co-pilot does help a lot to manage the tractor beam and engineering, but a single person could do it themselves if they wanted to. So the C1 is a great ship for single-person cargo use, or to play with a friend. The tractor beam does mean the C1 could be used for salvage or piracy. Plenty of space in the cargo for leftover ship parts or other ill-gotten gains. Combine that with a great radar and long-range fuel tanks and you'll be able to look for ships or debris at very long distances and remote locations, preferably where no one will bother you. Aside from cargo, the Spirit does have quite a few guns and some missiles, so it could be used for light combat, although don't expect to survive against heavy fighters or ships with torpedoes if they get the jump on you. If you plan on going against fighters, then I recommend you put gimbals on the wing guns so they can track targets like the nose turrets do. So you could use the ship as a small gunship to clear landing zones using your guns and missiles. Fitting a snub or two in there could possibly make it a tiny pocket carrier, but it does take time to exit a snub safely from the cargo bay, so it wouldn't be very quick to launch the snubs. The ship has a tough hull, but don't throw it into heavy combat. There's only one medium shield and a limited amount of missiles, plus all the guns face forward. Unlike other similar cargo ships, the C1 doesn't have any turrets to cover the rear or sides of the ship, and considering it's not the fastest ship, the C1 could get into serious trouble. You might be able to use the tractor beam to catch missiles in flight, but that's about it. At least Freelancers and Cutlass ships have a turret for protection, so this puts the C1 at a disadvantage in combat. The other problem is that there is no other entrance on the ship aside from the cargo bay, so if you have too much junk in the trunk, you may struggle to get into or out of the ship. Beyond those issues, the C1 is a great ship for the average cargo hauler, and it has amazing aesthetics too. The low cost of the ship makes it even better, so keep an eye on the ship when it goes on sale again. Alright, so that's it for the Crusader Spirit C1 review. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump into Star Citizen, and you'll get 5,000 extra in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. Please check out my Patreon membership to help me make more videos. All patrons and members will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get access to my Discord channel. Patrons and members also have first pick on the next item I will cover, so feel free to sign up and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay, catch you all next time.